Introduction. A tectonic monster emerges. On the remote northeastern edge of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, where rugged volcanoes pierce the sky and the Pacific Plate grinds relentlessly beneath the Eurasian Plate, a monumental shift occurred. The earthquake that rattled the region on July 29 has now been officially upgraded from a magnitude 8.7 to a staggering 8.8 by the U.S. Geological Survey (USGS). This seemingly small numerical increase translates into a significantly greater release of energy, underlining the earthquake's immense power. As scientists, governments, and communities continue to analyze the full impact of this seismic event, the upgrade has added urgency to already growing concerns about earthquake preparedness, tsunami risks, and the volatile nature of the Ring of Fire. The seismic event, from 8.7 to 8.8, why it matters. Initially, the USGS had reported the Kamchatka quake as a magnitude 8.7, already classified as a great earthquake under seismic standards. But further data analysis, including waveform modeling and satellite-based ground displacement measurements, prompted seismologists to revise the magnitude to 8.8. Though the jump may seem minor to the layperson, in seismic terms, this 0.1 increase corresponds to roughly 32% more energy release. Dr. Elena Petrovna, a Russian seismologist based in Vladivostok, emphasized the significance. Greater than, each decimal point in magnitude represents a massive difference in destructive capability. An 8.8 quake is not just stronger, it's in an entirely more dangerous category in terms of energy released and potential aftershock behavior. The quake struck at a depth of approximately 27 kilometers beneath the seafloor, about 170 kilometers east of the Kamchatka coast. Despite its offshore epicenter, the tremor was felt across much of eastern Russia and triggered tsunami watches in neighboring nations, including Japan and Alaska. A history of shaking ground. Kamchatka's seismic legacy. Kamchatka is no stranger to powerful earthquakes. The region sits atop a major subduction zone where the Pacific Plate dives beneath the Okhotsk Sea portion of the North American Plate. It is a geological pressure cooker. In fact, some of the largest earthquakes in recorded history have struck this region. 1952 Kamchatka earthquake, magnitude 9.0, triggered a Pacific-wide tsunami. 2006 Kuril Islands earthquake, magnitude 8.3, shaking felt in Japan and Alaska. The 2025 quake now joins this infamous list, and experts warn it may not be the last. We live on a dynamic planet, says USGS geophysicist Mark Teller. Kamchatka has shown time and again that it's one of the most seismically active regions in the world. Tsunami risk. Why the ocean still watches. Following the quake, tsunami warnings were briefly issued but later cancelled when waves remained below destructive thresholds. However, small surges were observed on the Kamchatka coast, and ports were temporarily closed. Japanese authorities in Hokkaido activated coastal evacuation plans as a precaution, though no significant flooding occurred. Alaska also monitored sea level changes closely. Dr. Ayumi Tanaka, a tsunami modeler at Japan's meteorological agency, pointed out. Greater than, the potential for a tsunami wasn't just theoretical. The magnitude, fault depth, and location beneath the ocean all made it a candidate for a major wave event. While the worst-case scenario was averted this time, the threat serves as a sobering reminder that such megathrust quakes can, and have, generated catastrophic tsunamis in the past, such as in Tohoku in 2011. Infrastructure and population impact. Remote but not immune. Kamchatka's sparse population spared it from large-scale human tragedy. The nearest major town, Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, experienced heavy shaking but reported only minor injuries and structural damage. Still, emergency services were dispatched to remote villages to check for injuries, collapsed homes, or disrupted utilities. In Ust-Kamchats, a small town of about 5,000 residents near the epicenter, frightened families evacuated buildings as tremors cracked walls and shattered windows. A local school suffered ceiling damage, and internet service was disrupted for several hours. Governor Vladimir Solodov addressed residents via social media. Greater than, our region has endured a major test. We thank the emergency workers and volunteers who responded quickly. Recovery efforts are already underway. Aftershocks. The Earth is not done yet. Since the initial quake, over 120 aftershocks have been recorded in the region, some as strong as magnitude 6.3. These secondary quakes have further rattled nerves and complicated relief work. Scientists warn that large aftershocks could continue for weeks, if not months. A particularly strong aftershock on July 30, measuring magnitude 6.6, forced evacuations in several towns and led to the temporary closure of Kamchatka's main airport. "We're seeing a classic aftershock sequence," explains Drive. Pavel Sidorov, head of the Russian Academy of Sciences Seismology Department. "The danger is not over just because the main quake has passed. Global implications. A wake-up call for the Ring of Fire. The Kamchatka quake has raised alarms across the Pacific. Given its location along the volatile Ring of Fire, a horseshoe-shaped zone encircling the Pacific Ocean known for its frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, the event could have ripple effects. Some experts are now analyzing whether this quake might alter stress distributions along nearby fault systems, possibly increasing the likelihood of activity in Japan, Alaska, or even California. There's no direct causality, says USGS geophysicist Dana Carpenter, but we know from history that big quakes can sometimes trigger others. Governments across the Pacific Rim are reviewing their earthquake readiness protocols. In Tokyo, officials have announced a review of early warning systems and evacuation drills. In Anchorage, Alaska, tsunami evacuation routes are being re-evaluated. Preparedness and future planning. Learning from the Earth. Though the Kamchatka quake did not cause mass casualties, it delivered a stark reminder of Earth's raw power and the necessity of preparation. Russia's Ministry of Emergency Situations has begun inspecting critical infrastructure, including power plants, hospitals, and ports. Some remote villages are pushing for seismic retrofitting of public buildings. In one emotional town meeting in Ust-Bolsheretsk, local teacher Natalia Kiryushina pleaded. We need better shelters, more drills, and stronger schools. Next time, we might not be so lucky. Japan and the US are also using this as an opportunity to run simulation models and test their earthquake response coordination across agencies and borders. Conclusion. When the Earth speaks, the world must listen. The Kamchatka earthquake, now officially upgraded to magnitude 8.8, may not have left a trail of destruction as long as the 2011 Japan quake or the 2004 Indian Ocean disaster, but it is no less significant. It underscores the fragile balance beneath our feet and the ever-present threat posed by nature's immense forces. As the data pours in and aftershocks continue to rumble, the world watches closely, not only out of concern for those in Kamchatka, but because it could one day be their turn. From Tokyo to San Francisco, from Vladivostok to Santiago, the lesson is clear. Preparedness is not optional. The next big one could strike anywhere, at any time.